So I got a couple of comments on my channel about how on earth you get photos from this to this. And I'm here to enlighten you today and tell you how, because that is what I do. I tell people how to do stuff that I already know how to do. I'm not very good at telling people stuff that I don't know how to do. I digress. Today, I'm going to show you guys how I get my analog photos from maybe this baby, maybe this baby, onto this baby, or whatever phone you have. Doesn't have to be an iPhone. I am very much a fan of the iPhone, and I do enjoy giving my money to them. Well, not always. Again, I digress. Whatever phone you use, whatever medium you use to post on social media, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, Christina, so now you've told us how to use an analog camera, and wait a minute, there's no SD card in this, there's no cable, there's no screen. Which still to this day is so funny when people take my camera and they're like, can I see the picture? And I say, no. I'm here to tell you how. First of all, I want to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I can't quite believe I finally made it. I feel like on YouTube that is a really big deal. And I did it, and people are still subscribing and watching my videos, and I'm super thankful. So, without further ado, if you've gotten this far already, why don't you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get a notification when I post a video, and put a comment down below if this video was helpful. Okay, now let's get back to the video. I filmed all of this and then it was out of focus, so I'm trying to remember what I was saying. I need my coffee. Okie dokie, I am caffeine fueled and ready to go. Back in the day, I'm talking when I was a kid, I'm talking 90s, I'm talking before that. The whole world was using analog, right? The whole world was taking photos on film. In the dawn of digital photography, a lot of the labs, a lot of the places that even create film, that actually produce film, that produce the cameras, were all like, no, digital is gonna win now. But as we all know, the fashions come back eventually. So analog is making a comeback, which I'm super excited about, and I'm so happy that I have a bunch of cameras from my childhood that I can use. And this is one of them that I was super happy to share with you guys in a previous video, which kind of went relatively viral. No, viral, I don't, what class is viral? I don't know. It was definitely one where people had a lot of questions about, okay, this camera is so cute and I'm sure the pictures are great, but how do I get the pictures on my phone? Like I said, back in the day, it was so much more normal. There were film shops everywhere. There were photo labs everywhere. People could just go down to the next store, which was usually in the same area where they lived, because there was these stores everywhere. Just the same as there used to be Blockbusters everywhere. You could go in there, take your finished film, get it developed, often overnight, and then you would have the photos. Obviously back then you would just get prints, and then you would have the negatives if you ever wanted to make more prints. I must add to this, please keep your negatives. Keep your negatives, always. I have a whole box of negatives, which I showed you guys in another video, because it's just so important. It's like deleting your photos after you've posted them. It's like deleting the raw footage. Okay, that's a whole nother topic, because you should delete raw footage after a while because it takes up so much space, but you should not get rid of your negatives. Even if you have the scans, which I'll get to, don't get rid of your negatives. There are little folders that you can buy that sorts out your negatives, or you can keep them nice and neatly just in their original packaging in a box. Because these days it's a little bit harder to find photo labs, I was on the lookout in Berlin for one, which I found a couple of years ago, called Safelite. I absolutely love them. I've mentioned them in a video before, and they are quite close to where I live here in Berlin. Now, obviously, I don't really know where you guys are at. I don't know if you're in the States or elsewhere, or in the UK or in Germany, but I know that for a fact that in Berlin and in Germany, Safelite take orders by post. You can send in your films per post, and they develop them, and or you can go into the store and pick up the negatives once they've been developed, and any prints that you've ordered and the scans. That's literally all it is. All you have to do is go to a photo lab and ask for the film to be developed with scans. That's the important part. I can show you here. So on this, you can see down here for color scans, etc. Which scans do you want, what size, etc. So you can select standard, JPEG, or large, or basic. So depending on what you want to use them for. Basic is usually probably fine for like if you want to use the pictures for your profile photo and for Instagram and stuff. If you are planning on taking photos on analog film and then getting it printed big, like getting it blown up, then a large scan would be recommended. And if you want, you can also decide, okay, 10 by 15 centimeter prints, or you can order other prints alongside it. Obviously that's going to be more expensive, but that's also really fun then if you have a photo album like I do. Oh, if you have a photo album like I do, where you can then put them in. But what I tend to do when I'm getting the photos developed, I just get the develop and the scan, because if you get all the prints, you run the risk of having a film where half the photos are no good, and then you've got wasted paper, wasted money. So there's your answer. You take your film, once it's finished, aka once everything, all the film is inside the canister, take it to your local film lab, or send it in per post if you're living somewhere where there's no film lab, and get it developed, and then ask for scans. You give them your email and you get them onto your laptop. And if you have an iPhone and a Mac like me, then obviously getting them onto your phone is really easy, because you can airdrop them to yourself. Or you can put them on Google Photos and then download them onto your phone, or however you do it. When you get your photos developed, the film will then look like this, aka negatives. And like I said, it's important to keep these negatives because these, you can then get them blown up bigger sizes if you want, or it's just always good to have the negatives. Just trust me. What you can also do, which is now growing again in popularity, is actually scanning them yourself. If you want to save money in the long run and you really want to start taking analog photos more frequently and you don't want to keep spending money, because it can be quite expensive sometimes, you can invest in a negative scanner. Now I've seen one that I really want to get by Kodak, relatively new I think, and it's like super smart, you know, it's kind of a small compact thing. I think it's about 200 euros. And then you can scan your negatives and then put them straight onto the computer, and then therefore get them straight onto your phone as well. And if you really want to be crazy about everything, you can go even a step further, which I've never done, developing your films yourself, which also includes chemicals, and it means that you need to buy a few other things and stuff like that. It's something that I know works. I know people who've developed their films themselves for years, and it is quite fun, and you have the control over everything. Obviously, also, if you screw it up, then it's your fault. So there's always a risk of doing it yourself, which is why I currently take my photos to the lab. Safelite also have like a 6-day turnaround, but sometimes I get them, I mean, they said 6 days and it's been 3 days and I got my film back today. On that note, I am going to show you guys just how it looks on my computer so that you can see, okay, what does it look like when I get the photos? Something that I do all the time now is I have the Google Photos app on my phone so that I can always access the pictures quickly. This is a picture that I had just uploaded from my computer to Google Photos. It's an analog photo, but hey presto, it's on my phone. I can save it to my device and I can post it wherever I want. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a notification in the comments. Leave a comment in the comments. And let me know what else you want to see. I thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I always get really stiff at the end of these videos. I don't know how to end them. Okay, bye.